3, 2, 1, we're live. We're just going to continue.
Oh, shit.
So Twitter, just go. See, I told you, you
Okay.
record and just go.
The worst part of the whole thing, which I'm still off Twitter, is I can see when people tweet at me.
That makes no sense because it's there.
Yeah, it's there and it's still active. So, like, if they actually found something that was sketchy, they're like, didn't shut my account down. They just kicked me off my account.
And you can't tell because you can't get into the email for it if they sent you an email.
No, because I used my old, which was stupid of me, but I used my old college email account. Is the one that I used to create this Twitter.
I think I did that with my Xbox before. And then I
Yeah.
realized I was like, oh, no.
And now I'm never going to have Twitter again, which I guess means I have to be a happy, well-adjusted person. And I don't want that.
You don't want that. You need to be on Twitter to see like people like LeBron James say something stupid and be a part of the arguments in the world.
Exactly. Like, I want to mix it up with people I don't know and don't respect.
Like Michigan fans, like basketball Michigan fans. We have to have.
Yes. Like, how am I going to find random NCAA schools to dislike?
And Brad, I had just found that restaurant's Twitter.
I know. And I think it all goes back to Raising Cane's.
Oh, I did tweet at them. But then why did they pick you over me?
I don't know. Because I didn't tweet at them. They don't own any free real estate in my brain, except for a lot of it.
I mean, we could just blow it up, but then it's like, what's the fun? And there'd be nothing to make fun of.
Exactly. Like, I'm joking. But your car's going to blow up.
I mean, we could just protest in the parking lot of it.
Just you and me holding up 2 picket signs.
I'm not going to say what I want to say. It's off Family Guy, and I don't want to say it.
Yeah, no, probably not. So I'm going to my second live sporting event since COVID.
And what's that?
May 8th, I'm going to a Cardinals game.
Oh, because Missouri has different restrictions.
Yeah, but the stadium's still like cut way down on capacity. But you know what's really stupid? You can't buy tickets in anything but a 4-pack.
What?
Yeah, you have to buy 4 tickets at a time, unless you go through StubHub and then you can buy 2 tickets.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
But because of that, tickets are stupid expensive.
I was going to say, I have not been to the new Busch Stadium, that stadium. I've never been there. I've driven by it, but I always knew Cardinals tickets were cheaper.
They are. We should go.
Yeah, I'm not a Cardinal fan, but like you might have been there. Like we've been to the old Busch Stadium, was there for like the last game. I think that's when like Randy took like straws from there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to go, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I was there for it was like the last year of that Busch Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not been to the new one. I've driven by it. No, I want to go.
That's cool stadium.
That's one of the ones I want to go to.
Yeah. I was talking about this the other day. What's your stadium bucket list?
I want to go see the Busch Stadium just because I'm like, yeah, I'm a Cub fan, but still, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, a Cubs-Cards game at Busch Stadium is pretty cool.
I want to go see a Red Sox game.
It's on there.
Where else do I want to go? I would love to go to California and see Dodgers.
See, okay, Dodgers was on mine too. Basically, all like Dodger Stadium, I'd love to see the Padres.
Yes.
And I would really like to go to, what the hell is it now? Is it Candlestick Park? Like, see the Giants play.
For the 6 people that listen, that's the dog.
Are you in danger?
So I know we're getting off topic. We'll go back. There's every summer or spring, there's these ducks. It's a wife and a husband. They just walk by casually, and they mock the
Wait,
dog.
like ducks, like actual ducks, like quack quack. Okay.
Husband and wife. One's like a mallard that has like the green head. The other one's all brown.
Well, yeah, all females are dark brown.
So yeah, they walk by, and because there was one family here that fed them bread, one time, never
It's
did
all.
it again, never did it again.
It's like crack cocaine to them.
And then now, the other morning, I go outside and there's these two geese just sitting in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, I hate geese.
Everyone hates geese.
My babysitter had one attack me in Oakwood because they saved it, which is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And when Mama Kathy found out that it attacked me, she went back. I considered letting Hazel go kill him, but then I have to
Should
chase
have. I bet
Hazel.
Hazel would have lost her mind.
Well, I would have to chase her, and that involves a lot of running.
Yeah.
So it was either watch her kill these ducks, and I fulfill my lifelong dream of seeing some geese get torn apart, or go see David Dobrik kill some people. I don't know.
Did you see he almost killed that dude?
Yeah. His pranks.
That was not smart.
No, he makes millions of dollars to do that
Like,
from YouTube.
I hate the fact that people make money off that. Like, everyone should have to work a crappy office job to make their money.
Or we need to do ASMRs. They make a lot of money from YouTube.
Well, I mean, they're okay. Listen, if you're doing something that somebody's gonna jerk their meat to, like, that's a crappy job. You know what I mean? Which is what that ASMR thing is, right?
But if you give me $1 million or $2 million a year,
Oh no, I'm saying like that should be excluded from the.
from like a David Dobrik killing those people.
Yeah, like if you're like TikTok famous and you're making money off being TikTok famous, like these 18-year-old kids that like live in their own TikTok house and are millionaires right now.
And they're giving the thin blankets or thin coats to the homeless.
Yeah. But that's what I don't like. No, you should have to do something crappy with your life, like the rest of us.
Right. ASMR can be excluded. Tim Dillon can be excluded. I fall asleep to his voice anyway.
No, I think that's even different though, because like, I don't know. Tim Dillon was a comedian, or is a comedian. Like, he has a real skill set. And I guess to an extent, like making TikToks is a skill set, but it's not something I respect. And it might just be because I'm old.
I think TikTokers started COVID because if it wasn't for COVID,
I don't think TikTok would have like taken off the way it did.
no, and I fought it for a long time, and I finally looked at it, and I was like, oh, some of these are good, but now I haven't looked at it in months.
I have never gotten onto TikTok. I watch the reels on Instagram. I think my thing is like I've done all the social media. I've like I don't know if you feel this way, but like I feel like I've reached the age where like I'm done with new things.
Well, that's why I fought TikTok. Now, Brad, I did make them. I made them.
Wait, you made a TikTok?
Yes,
I
did. About 6 months ago. Because I was sitting in the school with nothing to do.
see, like you are maybe a little more open to that than I am, but like I'm a curmudgeon about new technology.
Well, I made a couple, and then I realized what I was doing, and I was like, okay, Steve, we need an intervention with ourselves. The many that I have to have.
Like, I just don't understand how any of it works.
Oh, I had to. It was like one of mine, Brad, had 1,096 views, which to me is a lot.
That is a lot. Like, I don't understand how, like, I don't know.
When I say I had to sit there and do nothing, I did nothing, and that's what I turned to. So I think it was because I had nothing.
What is what is your biggest like pet peeve about social media? Like people across any social media. Because
Well,
I'll tell
I
you one.
well,
It's
I feel like I do it though. So what I bitch about, I do too.
oh, see, I don't.
Well,
Like
what's yours? Because mine
my
is the stupidity.
my biggest pet peeve is like remember when Snapchat stories first came out?
Hmm.
My least favorite thing on the internet is when somebody goes to a concert
Yes,
and takes 40 minutes of shitty videos and puts I'm sorry, Rhonda, that I just cursed, and
you're not
puts
a
it on their story.
you're not
It's
at
like
home. You're in your podcast studio right now.
it's true. I'm in a safe space right now. But I don't get like no one cares. If I wanted to go to that concert, I would have gone to that concert. We're all adults and we all have money now. Like, why don't you put your phone away and enjoy something in the moment? God, I sound old. But that that stuff will never not bother me. Or like people who go and have life experiences just to put it on Instagram piss me off.
Now,
Like we have
see,
some beautiful hiking spots down here, and like you'll go out there and hike, and you'll see people that are just on their phone the whole time trying to get good pictures. I was like, why don't you put the goddamn phone away and just experience something nice for yourself?
this is where I can't talk because I did that. Like, I remember going into the city for like the first time since being a kid. I took a ton of pictures of the place, but I didn't upload it to anything until like I was done, like a week later. But
See, like,
I do it for memories though. I don't go there to be like, this is for the gram. Like, I don't do that. Like,
yeah,
I just take pictures. There's folders. I'm that old guy that has albums. Like, oh, Chicago trip from 2000, whatever. That's what I kept. I'm 30. I'm old. I'm just trying to get my TikTok up so you could see the beauty.
I don't need to see the TikTok,
I
Steve.
think you do.
I don't.
I think you do.
Carrie's not gonna make it home for dinner, so I'm gonna order us some pizza. From where? From Sal's. Sal's? Have you lost your mind? Okay, not Sal's. Then from where? A little neighborhood joint called Domino's. Domino's?
I hate you so much.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, Carrie's not gonna make it home for
I
dinner.
made a couple,
Like,
like a couple. Like, you might log off after this one.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe I shouldn't. You actually made it off.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna stay on for that.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored
I-
in the house and I'm in the
I-
house bored. Bored in the motherfucker in the house bored and I'm bored.
Now, I will say this. That's the first time I've opened that app in like 6 months.
I could have done without ever knowing that you made a TikTok.
I made another one with the Backstreet Boys, but that's it for another time.
This is going to be our last podcast.
Well, we broke out with a bang. LeBron James sucks.
I'm gonna finish this podcast because I'm a professional, but then I'm gonna get off here, delete your number, and block it.
But then I'll see you Sunday.
It's like that. Have you seen that Larry David meme where it's like, "Yeah, fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow."
I love it.
pretty
It's
perfect-
done for everything.
Yeah,
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
yep. That one like pretty perfectly explains my personality.
Yeah, every time I leave school, I'm like, fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I on an embarrassing note, the like little bit of TV that I've been watching the show New Girl.
Now, you make fun of me making a TikTok,
Dude, it's a
But
good
you-
show.
but you're watching New Girl.
It's a good show.
Like, next thing you know, you're going to tell me to watch Cuties.
No, I don't watch cuties. I don't like to watch people exploiting small children.
I mean, Jerry Epstein did.
Jeffrey Epstein?
No. Yes.
Jerry Epstein? Who's
Yeah.
Jerry Epstein?
I don't know. I just heard a J, and I said
Okay.
Jeremy. Oh, no. I swear it was not that one. It was not. It was not that one. I swear. You would know
geez.
if I would. If you know if I meant it. No, that was not.
And I know you know better now than to be saying stuff like that in a public forum.
We can't talk about JD.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Just David Dobrik,
David Dobrik,
who needs to
killing
be
people.
canceled.
Yes. No, but it's a super underrated show. You should give it a chance.
I'm too busy watching serial killers. Why do serial killers start in California or in the Northwest?
So,
Okay, first of we've jumped around so much. We didn't even finished the baseball talk. Like it's just
So it wasn't just baseball stadiums either. Just stadiums in general that you would like to see a game.
Yeah, Cardinals, Red Sox, Dodgers, Padres. I've only been to Milwaukee's for Kenny Chesney's concert. I haven't seen a game. It's a cool
Miller
stadium.
Park?
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I kind of want to go to the Yankee Stadium too.
See, I would have thought old Yankee Stadium would be cool, but I really don't. It would be cool to see the Yankees play.
Yeah, as much as I don't like the Yankees, I'm like, just to say you've been to a game.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend $3,000 for a ticket.
Yeah, aren't their tickets like notoriously expensive?
Yes, because it's New York.
Okay, so if you're going to a baseball game, professional baseball game, what is your like food? Your go-to food?
Hot dog or Italian beef.
Italian beef.
Now that's because in Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
So the internet keeps jumping because I keep seeing my head like.
Yeah.
Probably
Italian beef's an interesting one.
Well, going to I will say this, I don't ever want to go into the Chicago Cubs stadium ever again after doing a rooftop.
I've always heard rooftops awesome.
We spent like maybe $90 a person, but that's all you can eat and all you can drink.
That is,
and it's like now before COVID, I don't know what it is now, but before COVID, because this was 3 or 4 years ago, it's like a buffet style.
Yeah.
And then like you just literally walk up to the person and say, I want a summer shandy. And then you go back a little later, like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And we were so nice to the person, they started to give us 2. They're not supposed to, like, here's 2.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing is you don't get assigned seats. So if you get up, people can take it.
See, I wish, like, if I was going to go to
Are you guys tired of overpaying for your cable? Do you think, oh, I need to go to the streaming side so I can save some money? Are you tired of taking out a small loan to pay for the cable just to watch things? There's so many streaming services. Do you not know or are having a hard time pick which streaming service? Well, looking for you, the Coach Steve Show, which is on the Unhinged Sports Network, have a proud partnership with Fubo TV. Fubo TV has over 100 plus channels. They have NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, ESPN, much more, without the hassle of that cable contract. If you don't believe me, go to the link in the bio. You can get a 7-day free trial today. So if you click on the link in the bio of the episode, you can get a free 7-day trial to support the Unhinged Sports Network, to support the Coach Steve Show podcast. Please use that link. Guys, it's time to cut the cord. Streaming services is where it's at. Get the internet, get the streaming service. You can, if you don't like it, get rid of it, but I think you're going to like it. That's why there's a 7-day free trial. Cut the cord. Quit taking out small loans to pay for this cable network. Please don't let these cable people trick you into getting into a 3-year contract, 2-year contract, and raising your rates. Go to Fubo TV. Best way to watch all the sports, any shows that you watch. So please support the show. Go click on the link now. Try it out for 7 days free. Cut the cord. As you guys know, the Coach Steve Show is also brought to you by the Unhinged Sports Network. The Unhinged Sports Network is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, nonstop playing radio podcast about any sport that you guys can imagine. They have a proud partnership with Fanatics. So if you go to the link in the description, go to Fanatics, use that link, and go get some gear to support the Coach Steve Show and to support the Unhinged Sports Network. They have deals all the way up to 70% off. They have deals for free shipping, and they have every single sports team you could think of. Your college team is going to be on there. Your professional team is going to be on there. They have good deals on jerseys, t-shirts, hats, socks, anything you want. So please use the link in the description to go to fanatics.com. Save big on your team's gear to help support the Unhinged Sports Network and to support the Coach
If I
Steve
was
Show.
going to go to a game in Wrigley, though, like I would want to go in the bleachers in the outfield and do beer snakes.
Now, see, yeah, if I ever go back inside, I want to go sit in the bleachers, like by the scoreboard where they do all that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't even do beer snakes anymore.
No,
They take them.
they take them. But yeah, it's hard to say.
I also appreciate Wrigley because they have like I feel like when you go to Wrigley, you have to sit in the bleachers and you have to drink old style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have not drank an old style in there because I just can't.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. I gotta tell you this. Speaking of bad beers, so I'm on this date the other day. I walked in this girl's house, and there's a case of hams
No,
sitting on the ground.
go
And like
on.
my heart fluttered.
Did it skip a beat?
It was like I had rediscovered my long lost love.
Did you think you had COVID?
I did for a second. I was like, that hams took my breath away.
Then you just open it, start drinking it. What the fuck are you doing? I have to. It's just something I have to do.
She left the room for like 30 seconds. She came back. I finished the case.
And it wasn't even buzzing.
It's brewed in the land of sky blue waters, bud.
I've seen hams in like the stores, but not very much. But I haven't had a ham since that time.
Dude, it's one of those beers that's like so bad. It's like it sticks with you.
Especially when we're trying to get a good buzz before leaving.
Exactly. Like you're trying to kill 40 of these, then we're going to hit the bar.
And then you get to 2 when you're like, this is terrible.
This is just work at this point.
This has become a job.
Which is why seltzers exist. Don't you dare. Don't shit on seltzers right now.
Just White Claws.
Here, just a second. I'll be right back. Important podcasting thing.
This is fake business right now, everybody. Everybody, I want you to know this is fake business. And Coach Steve does not condone Brad's actions during this podcast. What the hell is that? Oh, yes. All right, you're back on. You're back on board.
Yep. Tastes like lime peel. My favorite.
You brought up seltzers and you came down here. Now that you brought that, you're back up.
Yeah. You know what I love about Bud Light Lime? They decided they're like, let's make a flavored beer. And we're going to make it taste like lime, but not like the good part of the lime. We'll make it the shitty taste you get when you bite into the rind.
And they decided to do that when they had the can. The bottle was fine. It was the can. It was like
it has never tasted the same.
It's like, let's do the good lime in the bottle, but then give the slick, cool can that they're probably going to buy. And this is the leftover rind of that lime.
Yeah, we'll give the cans to the poors, but the people who can afford it will buy the 6-pack of the glass.
Have you had the orange one?
Yeah, they're not bad.
I like it. It's a good summer one. It's like if you don't want the like a cider, you're like, this is the next thing.
Have you had the Natter Day, the new Natter Days?
Like the pink one?
No, it's a different flavor this year.
No, have not.
I haven't had them yet either. It hasn't been warm enough.
No, it snowed the other day.
Yeah, I'm so jazzed up for warm weather, and it's just not a lot. Like I bought these Bud Light limes to sit out on my front porch and then yell at kids as they walk through my lawn.
And then throw the cans.
Yeah,
You're a
throw the
recliner.
cans at small children.
What's the Will Ferrell movie where he does that? He's like outside.
It even says they use the peels.
Yeah, so they're not hiding it.
They're just like, you're all trash people. Enjoy your trash beverage.
I mean, I respect them not hiding it. Like politicians hide things from us, but like, damn.
Yeah, you can count on Anheuser-Busch for transparency. Just like Busch Light, they don't even hide it. They're like, hey, this is the shit you get at the bottom of the Bud Light brewing process.
And if you drink it, if you die, you die.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like,
it is.
oh, you own a pair of bib overalls? Here's some Busch Light, dum-dum. Which, that's...
Do you remember Polar Bear? Was it the last one or one of the ones where what's his face was throwing them across the street to people
Oh my God.
and then hit a car?
No. Remember? Wait, were you there for that one where we were like in one apartment?
Yeah.
And they were in the other, and they were throwing them.
And that guy broke his finger.
Oh my God.
Remember, he walks over and he goes, "Oh yeah," and we were like all the fingers dangling there.
We need to explain what happened. So, Polar Bear, for anyone who's never been to SIU, is like used to be our major drinking holiday. It happened in the middle of winter, and for some reason it revolved around Coronas. Because like back in the day, this bar was able to get a shitload of like dirt cheap Corona in the middle of the winter. So they were like, hey, let's just have this weird made up holiday. Fun fact. That's how it started.
Then it upgraded to like shit beer.
Yeah. So this party is nuts. We're like anarchy. Like, were you down there the day, like it was during Polar Bear? We were driving, which is a dumb move. But these two girls roll out into the street fighting, and the girl got her weave pulled out.
Yeah, because I'd been to like 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah,
like that was my record. I never went to Solar Bear. It was Polar
you
Bear.
didn't miss much.
Solar Bear was too hot.
The only good Solar Bear memory I have was not having memories. I blacked out twice in one day.
Like the one Polar Bear where you lived by the pond, and there was those mud wrestling things that happened, and they came to your guys' apartment. And the guy stumbled down the stairs towards your room, and you could just see the marks like that. I think that's what caused my anxiety in my life.
You
was
kicked
that
in my
room.
door. You kicked in my door because I asked you to.
I did kick in your door because you asked me to.
Because he was asleep in there on my bed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because he showered and then slept in there. Steve kicked down the door.
Yeah.
I thought I was in a movie.
You kicked in my door. And then I opened the door, and he's naked in my bed, wet. He got out of this random dude that I'd met once. Just decided he was going to get into my room, take a shower, not dry off, and just lay down to sleep it off in my bed.
I feel really bad that happened, but it was cool to kick in a door.
Oh, no. You realize by the time we moved out of that apartment, there were 2 doors left.
Well, I don't feel so bad.
The front door and the back door.
And the rest were
kicked in.
Yeah, because we were supposed to sleep on the couches, and then that living room was just destroyed. And whoever thought it was a good idea to use toilet paper to wipe up the mud was dumb.
Yep.
And so the blanket we had was a towel.
That was probably the most wrecked that apartment ever got.
That polar bear was outrageous. The mud wrestling that was going on, I couldn't handle it.
That was probably peak polar bear for us.
That was the one right before the one we were just talking about with the apartments, like that one. So then the next one was like more civil, I
Yeah.
think. Or am I flip flopping them?
No. Okay. Remember, it went Jacob's heart medication.
No, that was the second one.
No, but that was the same polar bear as the kid breaking his hand.
Oh yeah, that was the heart.
Yeah.
So the first one was nobody could get in unless they were 21, and I was 21.
Yes.
Then it was the heart, right?
Yep.
Then it was the mud.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
lived
the
with
mud was the
Ben, and
last.
then yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that place.
And do you remember fucking? Oh God, that the one with the kid breaking his hand was probably the worst one. Because remember, like Trace was down there, Jimmy was down there and fucking ate all the food.
Well, because he
And
kept
Ben
crushing
was
your
at work.
you kept crushing your bread because we had the pizza hidden in the containers. I
Yeah.
hope if Jimmy listens to this, he's gonna go down memory lane. Remember, he just took a piece of bread out and he goes, "I'm gonna smash a piece of bread for every minute you don't give me the pizza." One.
And he sat there. We were trying to watch TV
Because it was
we were so fucked up.
well, no, they didn't get there till like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh, that was it. That was the night before Polar Bear.
Right, because we left. Remember, we were like, we're not going to do much, and then they weren't going to come till the morning. Well, then they texted you or called you like, yeah, we're leaving. It's like 1:30, and we're like, what?
Yeah, and we had gotten that extra pizza for Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jimmy came in, and I just remember him staring at me, and he's like, "I'm gonna smash a slice of bread." And he would. He'd just stare you in the eyes and just crumble a piece and drop it.
3 in the morning, he come in, he could smell it. Like the moment he walked in, he goes, "Where's the pizza?" And we're like, "What?"
He's like a goddamn bloodhound.
And people listening, the pizza was in a Tupperware container, sealed in the refrigerator in the back. Yeah, he could smell it. But I will say this: looking back now, I'm still mad at that whole situation. But it is kind of funny just to picture someone taking a piece of bread like every minute. I don't have this pizza. But at the time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm getting pissed off, and it's not my bread.
Yeah. That apartment, that was when I lived on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, you and Ben lived up on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. And remember, like, all the shit show things that happened in that apartment? Like, my 21st birthday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, there was some nonsense. Did I tell you I almost got the cops called on me at that same apartment complex? You know how, like, I was in that townhouse down by the road.
Mm-hmm.
They went down and then over. In the apartment, like, over here, because that's where my apartment was.
Right.
After I graduated college and came back down here and started working, I was went home with this girl that worked at Pinch, and we were sitting out on her like rooftop on the townhouse, and the like cops came and told me I had to get off of there. They were like gonna take me out.
Why?
They were just freaked out about people sitting on the roof. It was weird. I thought it was stupid. Freaked me out though. I was like just drunk enough that it like gave you a little bit of a panic attack. You know, I wasn't drunk enough to just be like, fuck the police, no justice, no peace.
It was just that jolt to where you're like, man, the only way I can get back to this is some hams.
Exactly. So that's what I did. I went in and shotgunned 4 hams.
Then you felt better.
Yeah.
No, we're jumping around these polar bears, but like, I can't keep them straight.
Okay, so anyway, I will tell the broken hand story because it's fucking bad.
Oh, God.
So we're sitting there.
Well, remember, it's just me and you, like, coherent because Jacob had the heart thing.
Yeah, and he was
Trace went to like a foam party. in the same building.
Yeah, they took off.
And then Jimmy, I don't know what Jimmy was doing. He probably, I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I think he was
But-
playing Pong.
Yeah, he was. He was. I think Jimmy was playing Pong with like my ex-girlfriend.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you remember like all the stupid girls? Like, okay, this is later in the story. But so we're sitting in this apartment on the 3rd floor out on a balcony. They had these big balconies. And there's a big parking lot, like 4 rows of cars. Like if you're picturing a Walmart parking lot, picture like 4 drivable rows of cars in between that and the other apartment that also has people out on a balcony. So drunk white people like to throw things and they like to drink outside. So at some point, someone from our balcony chucks a empty beer over to the other balcony. The other balcony responds by throwing an empty beer can back. So somebody says like, "Hey, throw us a full one." And then all of a sudden, here comes a full Busch Light can. And I don't know if anyone's ever tried to catch a beer that's coming at you really fast, but you and I are standing right there as this beer hits this kid's hand. And his hand just crumbles.
Yeah. And you could
Like-
hear it. You could hear it like,
Yeah. And like right here, mid hand, that's where like he developed a new knuckle.
yeah.
And
And everything was
so-
dangling.
He was so fucked up. that
He just goes, that sucks.
Yeah. And then do you remember, like, I specifically remember later in the night, like his hand was so swollen. He was holding a beer can, but he was holding it by the tips of his fingers because his hand, he couldn't, like, oh my God.
And then that happened. 10 minutes later, we see Jimmy John's car pull up at the bottom. And he walks into the building. Someone from the other side runs down, grabs the sign, the big sign off the car, and he turns around and chases that guy into the woods.
And then that night at like 3 a.m, that kid shows up with the sign still.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that kid's in the United States Navy right now.
I love how he just stayed in the woods.
Yeah, his entire day was over. He still has that Jimmy John sign.
I kind of want it and build a podcast studio and put that right behind. Like,
Dude, there's some wild things.
except for when they asked us to go take a nap,
Yeah. That was stupid.
which we did, and then it kind of ruined it.
You know what's weird, Steve? Like, there were periods of time when, like, I really would have thought your and I's friendship would have, like, gone to the wayside. And then there are memories when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, like, almost all of my best college memories, for some reason, Steve was there. Like, you always made it a point to come down to shit. And it was always fun.
Well, you guys always had great stories, though.
Well, I mean, like, most of the time I was with Ben, who's just a better version of me. So, like, I would always have fun then, you know?
Well, like the first time I came down there, me and Andy were like, you know what? We're just going to go. It was a Thursday or a Friday. We're like, we're going to go. That's when you were bald.
Was that the night that, or the time that we had to tell Morgan Tilmoney that cell phones don't work in Carbondale?
Yeah, we were in a dome.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
a dome.
the pool noodle, too. Like that
Oh, that pool noodle was so gross.
that was that time. Like, I've been down there a lot. Like, that's happened.
Because we were too cheap to go buy the thing to get an actual beer bomb.
That's the summer you lived with Lucas. right?
Oh my God.
That was that summer.
That was the same summer Andy Rutledge had a girl piss his pants.
Yes. Like
I
that's
shouldn't have said
happened.
his real name on here on the internet like that, but the time Andy Rutledge had a girl piss his pants,
And you had to be there.
you had to be there and then use him as a scratching post.
Morgan's going to shoot both of us in the
Whatever.
face.
If she hasn't heard that story by now, there's no way Morgan and Andy have been together forever.
They don't listen. Let's be real. They don't listen.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel okay about it, but like, I
That was
guarantee
so long ago.
Morgan had to have heard that story.
Yeah, that's been so long ago. That was.
And they weren't together at the time, so it doesn't matter.
No, no.
But
The Dome one was.
the dome was, yeah. And she didn't buy that at the time, but
I think the worst thing that happened that night was. Actually, I don't even remember what the worst thing. Maybe the pool noodle was the worst thing. See, they all blur together. See, this is gonna be podcast after dark. Like I don't even know what to title this one. Should I just title this like Carbondale? Should I title it Salukis? I don't even know at this point.
I don't even know.
They all blur together. Like I've been there for that. I was there for Ben's 21st. I've been there for yours. I went down there for other just random. I drove down for the white trash party. I think that's what it was.
Which one?
I don't know, I came there and Ben's like, Steve, and a keg had been thrown over the side and there was this huge dent in the yard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't know that was going on. Remember, I just needed to get out of town, so I drove down there.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Well, that was the nice thing. There was like a period of time when like pretty much every weekend we came up with a good reason to just get schwasted. You know?
There for a lot of polar bears. Yeah, there's stuff I can't say on recording that has happened.
Yeah, no. Did you ever make it down for tour to Carbondale?
No. The Coach Steve Show is sponsored by the Launchpad Kickoff Tee. If you're a football coach out there, high school, college, NFL, doesn't matter, and you're looking for that edge for your special teams, for your kicker, for the kickoff, onsides, you guys need to go to launchpadkickoff.com. If you have a younger guy trying to develop the kicker, you want the ball to get to the end zone, you need to go to Launchpad Kickoff Tee. This tee gives a coach a strategic options for squib kicks, onsides, everything. It is proven that your kicker will kick off farther. It is legal for NCAA, for high school. Okay. The Launchpad Kickoff Tee is a game changer. So if you go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS to use the code CSS, you can get a Launchpad Kickoff Tee for 10% off. So go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS. You can use the code CSS for the Coach Steve Show to get 10% off. Also, there's a bundle. You can get one for 10% off. You can go to two and get more percent off. Or there's an option to buy four. If you click the option to buy the 4 kickoff tees, if you like it so much, when you use the code CSS, you'll get the 4th one free. So instead of paying full price for all 4, you'll get 3. So go to launchpadkickoff.com/CSS, use the code CSS, get 10% off, buy 4 to get the 4th one free. This is a game changer, guys. It does more than just hold your balls. Go get the Launchpad Kickoff Tee today to give your kicker an edge for next season. I think that happens like right after Polar Bear. It was either right before or right after, and I'm not there for it.
It happens, well, used to. It's outlawed now, but it used to happen like early spring. So like pretty much as soon as weather permitting, Tour de Carbondale would happen. Which for those that don't know, again, the city of Carbondale would shut down streets and allow 400 to 500 random bicyclists to basically do a beer crawl across the entire town. And you would go from, you start at a place and there's X amount of alcohol, and you all have to stay there until the alcohol's gone. And then you hop on your bikes and go to the next place. And Like the first place was oh my god. It started off with vodka Red Bulls. And they had 40 handles of vodka. Okay. And you sat there, you finished all of it. And then the guy blew a whistle and he was like, "Get on your bikes. We're going to the rugby game." We go to the rugby game. There's 6 pickup trucks filled with Franzia. The entire bed of the pickup truck, 6 of them, filled with boxes of Franzia. So you have these people watching a rugby game just already plastered, right? So we finish all this wine, and then dude blows a whistle again. He's like, "Okay, we're going to the next spot," which was at the apartment complex that I lived at. That spot was rum and coke. And instead of having like a safe way to get that, they had 5 trash cans. Like, a 30-gallon trash can. And they just filled them with rum and coke. So when you wanted a new one, you would just dip your hand into it.
So you guys are immune to COVID, is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, that's where COVID started. But the funniest part of that, there's 2 things. So the first one was our friend Dom shows up way late. Like we had been at this stop for a while. And like our apartment had a small little pond in front of it. And a bunch of people put their bikes on the railing next to the pond. And Dom comes, like, falls off his bike, gets up, and there's a row of like 10 bikes sitting on this rail. And he goes and just starts throwing bikes into the pond for no reason. And then he walks up and he's like, "Oh," we asked him, he's like, "Why'd you throw those in the pond?" And he didn't say anything, just walked in, started drinking. Still this day, no clue why.
No idea why that happened.
Yeah. So then, like, we finished, alcohol finishes off. We got to head back into Carbondale. Guy blows the whistle. We get on our bikes. The kid that's with me earlier in the day hadn't ridden a bike in like 10 years. So he was all shaky, By this point, we're driving down the main drag in Carbondale. Like the cops shut the road down. I'm riding my bike. I look over and Jordan is riding no hands, leaned back. And we watch this girl get hit by a car, roll over the hood of the car and smack her head off the pavement. And the thud when she hit the pavement, I'll never forget it. But I look over at Jordan and he just looks at me and he's like squinty-eyed drunk. And he's like, "Yeah, she's fucking dead." Just keeps going.
I bet David Dobrik was driving that car.
Yeah, it absolutely was. He just left the Asian massage parlor where he also murdered those people.
And he was probably on his way to make an NFT.
Exactly. I'd make an NFT of that moment.
Oh, I know we're all over the place. You have not seen this? Okay. I need to do more research.
Are you about to tell me Twitter things?
Yes, one thing. And I think I just saw it today, so it might be just a today thing. Somebody was selling their tweet. There's a Twitter selling thing where somebody was selling their tweet.
Who would buy that?
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, I don't have the brain capacity to research this, but I did see it. Like, hey, I don't know if anybody's interested. You could put a bid to buy this tweet or like one of their tweets. I said, what? Like NFT, yeah, that was all fun and games, but now it's selling your tweet.
Okay, so like once you sell the tweet, it's not available to the public.
Probably not, but then I'm like, can you never tweet that specific thing ever again? Because
Or
that
like,
person owns it?
What's to say somebody didn't screenshot a tweet?
Someone's like,
Like, are you bidding on a tweet that doesn't exist yet?
No, they like tweeted it and then like reply to it and says if anybody wants to buy the above tweet and then like tag this Twitter thing and then you click on it, it's actually like something. And I'm like the NFT was all fun and games when Tim Dillon was doing it, but now we're selling tweets and I wanted to tag him in it.
Steve, this brings me back to the last time you and I did a podcast after dark. Thanos didn't do anything wrong. If we're at the point people are selling tweets, like there needs to be a mass exodus of people. And I may be one of them. Like
I kind of want to look it up. My internet froze, but I kind of want to look it up to make sure I wasn't like.
Here's the thing: like we just need less people in the world. Like people need real jobs.
Like that GIF from Futurama where he's like, "I don't want to live on this planet anymore."
Yes.
That's like where I'm at.
Every time I hear one of these things, like the first time I heard about NFTs, I had that thought. Like, what are we doing? And that's not like, to me, it's just not sustainable. Like, what's the plan here? You know?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. How to use Twitter for social selling. What the
Social selling? I'm so disgusted. I'm almost happy I don't have Twitter. Actually, I take that back. I want Twitter back so desperately.
You need to see it.
I just need Twitter, Steve.
Yeah, so we can talk about this.
I need it back in my life. Twitter, let me back. Take me back.
I didn't mean all those things I said, except for Raising Cane's. I meant every word of that.
I meant all of that, and I'm not going to say I didn't.
I meant all of that.
But I don't get why this happened to me. Like, there are worse people on Twitter.
It's valuables. And like you can sell your tweet. And guess who it's followed by? It's followed by Mark Cuban.
So, okay.
You can create an account with valuables. Like it says v.cent.company and you can put in an offer to buy a tweet if someone says so. You can place an offer on any tweet, make the offer sweet because anyone can swoop in with a counter offer and outbid you. This is fully up to the tweet author to accept or reject your offer. If they accept your offer, we mint it on the blockchain, creating a one-on-one NFT with their autograph. That's it.
Oh, so you're creating NFTs out of your tweets.
Okay. Now that I've looked at the company, now okay. There's one on here already for $3,000. What is the world coming to?
What? See, this is the stupid thing. The great thing about Twitter has always been like there really were no ads. Right? There were ads, but whatever. But like
you can pick what you want to see though. Right, and you could pick the conversations you want to see.
Yeah, but now I feel like it's going to be like, well, if you want to see my tweets, you got to pay for them.
I don't know if it'll go that far, but like to sell them, like so NFTs were this fun and games thing of like I'm just going to create this NFT coin. Now it's going to create NFT tweets or a GIF because Mark Cuban did that. He sold a GIF of him, and he sold it.
But like, are they gonna? If NFTs ruin Twitter, then you and I have to destroy NFTs.
We have to destroy NFTs and do full-time podcasting and just start talking politics and Ben Shapiro stuff. Like that's just what we're gonna have to go with.
I'll quit my job.
I will move into that tiny room right there, and that'll be the recording studio.
Check it out. For some reason, it smells like cat piss.
But that's
People
tomorrow's
who lived
problem.
here before me had cats.
Yeah, that doesn't go away.
It doesn't. And
Were they getting high off of that?
maybe. Isn't that a South Park thing?
That's the South Park.
Yeah.
I keep freezing. This is not going to be good.
I haven't eaten dinner. So this thing may go downhill real quick.
Don't worry, I had Chipotle.
Okay, hot take here. I don't like Chipotle.
You can go make an NFT.
I think I make better Mexican food than Chipotle does.
Well, okay. So when people say I want Mexican and they choose Chipotle, I'm like, no, shut up. Like, that's not true Mexican.
Yeah, it's like Americanized, whatever.
Right. We just get it because we don't feel so bad after eating it.
I still think I could do Chipotle better than Chipotle does Chipotle. If that makes sense.
I don't know. They have good queso. Not like your queso. Your queso on top of that would just start a revolution.
But I just I have a hard time I'll go and spend money at a local place that does food that's not better than mine because it's local. I want to support that. But any chain restaurant, I pretty much refuse to eat there if their food isn't better than something I can do myself.
Well, Brad, I just want you to know about once a week, get Chipotle. That's what happens up here.
And just like that, I'm never coming back.
Maybe not now because I'm going to get home early because track ends at 4:30. So it's going to be like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm getting home at 7 or 8 or 9.
How many weeks is track season?
The state track meet is for class 3 is June 12th. But you got to make it there. I mean, there's been practice for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Because of that fun little overlap.
Yeah, it was great. It's been fantastic.
So is your game tomorrow or Saturday?
Have a game tomorrow.
Who you playing?
Morton.
Morton?
Now there's a Morton, Illinois. This is not. I can't keep up. It's in Berwyn, Illinois. It's East Morton High School or something. I don't know.
Huh. You feel good about the game?
I think we finally got the run game down after 8 weeks.
It's not bad.
This is what I told people. You have a new head coach coming in with a new defensive thing. The OC is trying to tweak things. You have this asshole line coach that comes in and wants to do this and do that and have his own terminology. Yeah, there's going to be some bumps in the road, and then you have some kids. Addison was a hot spot for COVID, like a hot spot. And so kids thought we weren't going to play. They got jobs. They had financial things going on, or parents got scared of COVID. And so we had a lot of kids not come back. So I kept telling myself, I think it was week 4, our 4th or 5th game. Yeah, because we're only playing 6. It was the 4th game or the 5th game. I said, where we are right now, we would have been in July of a regular year of putting this stuff in.
Oh, yeah.
So, but see, the beauty, so up here, they play sophomore games right before the varsity games up here in the big school land. We did not do that this year because we don't have enough kids. So we have a freshman team, a varsity team, and then we just do a JV game. But they don't play that
JV on Mondays.
Yeah. So we were able to talk to the other varsity teams and be like, well, since we don't have a game for you at 5 or 5:30, can the varsity game be at 6? And we are spoiled. Having a varsity game at 6 and getting done by 8 something is just fantastic. Tomorrow, the high school wants to do it at 7:30 where we're going.
7:30.
Varsity games up here start at 7:30 because you play a game before, so it's always like
Yeah.
7:30. So they said they're going to do it at 7:30, blah, blah. We're not very happy. So I probably won't get home till 11 or midnight, and then I got a track meet Saturday.
Jesus.
And I've seen my throwers 4 or 5 times. They've been throwing with the boys and the boys throwers coach, so it's been good.
Oh, that's good.
I just don't know who they really are. Don't know how good they really are. So I'm going to show up Saturday and be like, good job. I don't know your name, but good job.
Good job. Good effort.
High five. Coach Steve, are you hungover? Don't worry about what I'm doing.
As you're wearing like 2 sets of sunglasses. Don't worry about me.
Wearing the face shield instead of the mask. I need to breathe, God damn it.
I gotta breathe as you're shoveling McDonald's in your face just aggressively. That's not your hangover food anymore, though.
No, I haven't had McDonald's in a lot since Ben's wedding. Ben's wedding, after the wedding, that's the last time I've had it.
And what is it? You told me what your new hangover cure is. What is it?
I don't know if I
can't
have one.
remember what you said.
I don't think I have a new one. My new one is just not to have it.
Yeah, you just don't drink enough anymore to warrant a hangover.
Or I drink one of these for every, like, that's what I do now.
Just like every couple beers you mix in a water.
Oh, I chug water.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
I'm big on that, like, I think I talked about this before, but like the stupid Gatorade bottle with the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I drink so much more water with that. I think
you
it's
feel
because
cool.
I feel cool doing it.
Yeah, I have one too. I take it to school.
Yeah. I take mine to work every day.
I mean, I took it to basketball game one time, and these kids about took mine thinking it was theirs because it looks like theirs. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to look cool. You guys can get the hell away.
Oh, God. Okay.
Did Twitter work?
No. Fucking Twitter's dead to me. I'm just kidding, Twitter. Please let me back.
All I know is I got in the morning, I got to watch that season finale.
You watch it in the morning before you go to school?
Because I did that for WandaVision because I would never have time. Like, I never thought I could watch it.
Yeah.
The WandaVision was only like 30 minutes. These Falcon ones are like 55 minutes.
Yeah, they're long form.
But
which I'm way behind.
It's so good. There's only like 5 theories instead of WandaVision where there was 283.
Well, this is more like your traditional, like, I don't know the right way to say that. This is more like your bro down Marvel.
It is filmed just like Winter Soldier was filmed and Civil War.
Yeah.
It's filmed very similar. It's a 6-hour-long movie.
See, but that's the thing. I feel like some of this you need like a drawn out explanation of like, hey, here's all of this shit that took place after Endgame or whatever. What was the last one?
Yeah, Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Don't. Yeah.
But this stuff is happening before that.
Before Spider-Man?
Yeah, so that's why I don't like this. So, like, Endgame happened. WandaVision takes place like 3 weeks after. I can't remember how long Falcon the Winter Soldier. I think it's like 2 or 3 months. And then Spider-Man Far From Home takes place 8 months. So what we're seeing now happened before.
It only took Wanda 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's why. Well, they said that's why it was so fresh because it's like it's been 3 weeks. It's not like a year has gone by and she's still like this. It was like this is fresh.
This is why we shouldn't have female superheroes.
This is why.
They're too emotional.
Oh, I was going to say something political, and I've chosen not to.
Yeah, let's not say that.
Well, I think everybody can agree what I was about
But
to
I'm
say.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. This is a joke. This is a comedy podcast, people. This is not sports anymore. This is comedy.
This is a comedy podcast that isn't funny.
It's not funny only to us if you know anything about Carbondale.
Yeah, really, this is just you and I finding an excuse to get on a call and talk.
I'm all for it. I just had to eat my
Yeah, no,
Chipotle
I'm
first.
good with it too.
I was going to say, was Hillary really your woman to be president? That's all I was going to say. Like, I wasn't the right one.
My favorite thing when she was running for president was like, what's going to happen when she's having her period and she has the nuclear codes? And somebody like tweeted, they're like, she's like 67.
My favorite was like,
Fast, buddy.
we've been screwed the past years and years because it was like, what happens when she faints while giving a press conference?
It's like, is this 1920? Like, did she need a fainting couch?
Why are these last 3 people the ones we choose? Like, I don't get it. Or, yeah, 3.
I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to vote for a TikToker. I want this TikTok person to be the next president. I will vote for Tim Dillon.
I don't think Tim Dillon would want to.
He wants, have you heard where he's like, is it Jake Paul, who's the YouTube guy?
Wait, are you talking? Is Jake Paul the one that MMA fights?
Well, they both do. Which one is it?
I thought Logan Paul was
Logan Paul. Logan Paul.
MMA fighter.
Jake just boxed the other night and knocked the guy out in like 2 seconds. And then Logan Paul was like the YouTube guy.
I've never seen any piece of content that either of them has put out.
I kind of did many years ago. Have you watched? Because Logan, is it Logan? I think it's Logan. He has a podcast and it's on YouTube. He has Tim Dillon on there.
I knew he did that. I haven't watched it. I don't think I will. I don't like people who are just internet famous.
He's trying to get away from that. Like, I think now that he has like, $100 million, he's like, I want to do something else.
It must be nice to have that ability.
Well, he come out.
I say that currently living in a crack house.
Well, like, so the way I knew this was Theo Fahn's podcast. He had Tim Dillon and Logan Paul on at the same time. And it's hilarious. It is. The stuff Tim says on there is hilarious to Logan. And when you watch the YouTube video of it, every time Tim says something, Logan's face is like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
And then that's what got Logan then asked Tim to be on his. That's the only time I listen to Logan Paul's podcast. I won't listen to unless I know. So like when Tim Dillon's on there twice, I listen to it. He had Dave Portnoy on there. I'll listen to that. Dave Portnoy is going to be on Ben Shapiro's show on Sunday. That should be a good one.
Is he really?
Yes. And it's I saw a preview. He goes off about everything.
Really?
He's done. He's like done. Did you see the tax thing? Like they're going to increase all these taxes, and he tweeted, "Thanks a lot, Uncle Joe." Like, thanks a lot, Joe. I want to do that today.
You got to pay for these stimmy payments.
All right, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to, because it's a kind of like a hangover reference, and you may only get it. Gas today was $3.13.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
That we would do that, and we were doing that when Obama was still in office.
Yeah, ever since we saw it on the Hangover, it was like, thanks a lot, Obama.
Thanks a lot, Obama. jerk.
And what did he say? Like, you can't masturbate on a plane anymore?
Yeah.
Like, thanks a lot, Obama.
Can you imagine jerking off on a plane?
What is it? The Mile High Club? So that'd be the half a mile club.
Well, but that's like, I get the Mile High Club thing because you go into the bathroom. But I'm imagining like jerking off on a plane is like you've got people on either side of you.
That's
You know what
just
I mean?
that's ballsy.
It is ballsy. And also like probably not that enjoyable unless you get off on that. You know what I mean? Like I know a guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he got a hand jibber on a plane like in their seats.
That doesn't make sense to me.
And like one, hand jobs are grossly overrated.
But then why on a plane?
I think if men were being honest, like if I had the choice between nothing at all and a hand job, I'd probably pick nothing at all.
You pick selling an NFT tweet.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would sell an NFT.
Now, let me ask you this: that or going to Raising Cane's?
Oh, I mean, yeah, hand job, hand jibber, or what do they call it on South Park? It's an old fashioned.
It's an
Oh,
old
old
fashioned.
fashioned.
I haven't watched that in so long.
Oh,
either.
Sharon, it's old fashioned.
It's an old fashioned. This is the last podcast.
Yeah, we're
Nathan, if you listen to this before Sunday, it's over. It's done. We had a good run.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, not only like does getting the hand job kind of suck, but then you're doing it on a plane with people around. Like, I'd rather just suffer through the plane ride.
I'd rather watch the Queen Latifah movie they put on and just mind my own business.
Yeah. It's like I've never been on a plane and had a sexual urge.
I know we keep going back to Tim Dillon, and you listened to the one where he talked about was it Woody Harrison? What's his name?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. COVID brain.
Steve, you can't say that anymore.
I haven't been taking my vitamins, so I think that's what's caused it.
Okay.
Where he was like, yeah, Tim Dillon's like, yeah, I was supposed to be in this movie. I can't tell you guys what it was, but basically it was this movie about a guy that followed this high school girl around. He loved her, wanted to buy her coffee, followed her on the bus, and I was going to be that bus driver. And the director's name was Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
He goes, but I'm not going to get the part. I don't know who they're going to. They said I wasn't old enough or fat enough. So I don't know who they're going to hire. They might hire Queen Latifah. I have no idea.
Oh my god. I wonder if he like practices any of that. Or if it's all just stream of consciousness. You know,
I wondered that too because they do the Joe Rogan thing where there's the TV where he can look at. So I was like, dude, does he have like a PowerPoint or like a bullet point of like this is what he's going to talk about, or does he just go?
I think he's got his producer there to like remind him. Like if you notice that last episode, he kind of reminded him to do the Afghanistan song.
Yeah, so I think he probably plans it out like he does a comedy show. Like he knows like this is what I'm going to say or this is what I'm going to talk about. But then I can't imagine what's on the Patreon one.
I mean, you get the clips of it. I kind of want to do the Patreon.
I do too. I kind of am like, because there's times where he references it. He's like, oh yeah, we talked about this on the Patreon, so I'm not going to do it here.
Yeah. You and I need to watch the next Your Mom's House live.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So the last one that happened, all I saw was people like about to throw up, and so
Oh, it's
then,
rough.
well,
It's rough.
then he was just on Joe Rogan's like last week or something. Joe Rogan got a new studio again, like so it was
Yeah.
like this new studio, and they were talking about. Joe was asking about your mom's house. He goes, "Yeah, it's a network. Like nobody can tell me what to do. I can do whatever we can do whatever we want." He said something about, yeah, people like shitting in their mouths or something. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. They do. They found this male porn star that can stuff his own nutsack into his butthole.
Is that the McDonald's dropped them?
No. That was a different thing entirely. That was they showed a guy jerking off, like he's jerking off and playing with sex toys, like while reviewing the sex toys.
And that's when McDonald's said no, we're not a
Yeah,
part of this.
McDonald's offered them like $1.3 million, and it lasted one episode. Like, Tom went out and bought a McLaren and then had to take it back.
No,
Like,
I'm afraid to those.
no, man, like the Your Mom's House Live stuff is so ridiculous, but I think you would laugh. Like
I'm sure I
the
would.
last one, I didn't watch the most recent one, but the one before that, like they started the episode out, they brought the guy in that can stuff his own balls in his butt and had him do it live.
like that I could probably handle, but like I don't know. Like when I see the reaction, they put up the reaction videos of people
Yeah.
and just watching the reactions, I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Dude, have you ever watched any of the Fed Smoker clips?
No.
Okay. So they have this dude that they found. He's dead now, which makes
Oh.
sense. But they found this guy, and his name's Fed Smoker, and he's a meth addict that is obsessed with calling out cops. So, and he calls people chomos, calls them child molesters, and he has a stamp, like a physical stamp that he carries around that says baby raper, and he'll stamp it on your forehead.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's not dead, I'd be shocked.
Dude, you need to watch because Your Mom's House puts out like a Fed Smoker like best of on YouTube, and it is the funniest thing you'll ever watch.
Now, do you have to pay to be on the Your Mom's House thing to watch those?
What do you mean?
Like the live ones. I think you have to.
Yeah, the live ones, they're like $5,
Oh.
but it's like you pay $5 and they're like 3 hours long.
Oh, gotcha.
And literally, like the last one I watched, I laughed so hard I thought I like couldn't breathe, and I threw up. Like it's everything I love about Your Mom's House. Like it's my favorite podcast.
I don't think it's on Spotify. That's my thing.
Yeah, it is.
I looked it up before and it's not on there. I
Oh
think it's
wait,
only
no,
on
no,
Apple.
no. Yeah, because I get it. Well, one, I watch it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's better off YouTube because like the funnier parts of their normal show is clips.
Yeah, there was one they had Rogan come on, but I think it might have been Your Mom's House, but it was just Tom and his wife.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan came on. It was like years ago, and that's how they started it, was clips.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rogan comes on and does his commentary of it.
They and they have like other comedians come on there. Like Tim Dillon's done it a couple times, and his are really funny. They do this thing called Horrible or Hilarious. And it's like Tom's obsessed with watching people get like irreparably injured. And like his favorite clip of all time is this car just running into this small like Asian dude and him being pinned against a wall and screaming. And it's like hard to explain.
Have you
But it's
seen
so,
his Have you seen his stand-up, the ball hog or whatever?
oh yeah.
I just watched that like last weekend or the weekend before. I have not watched a stand-up from him in years. Like I said, some of this I just got away from because the Charleston thing, coaching, I just never did. I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher this. He was like, "What's up, my N-word?" or something, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
No.
Or like when he was talking about like, "Why do people talk to me?" Like walking to the bank and like does that story of like the guy talking to him. He goes, "Why the fuck do I care?" Like, it's,
No, I think that's why I like him, because I have those same thoughts. He just articulates them. Like that same, like, why are you talking to me right now, man?
or when he's like, "You know who I hate is when people find out when your birthday is and they have a birthday maybe kind of near yours but not really near yours, and they have to make it a big deal." He's like, "I checked into a hotel. You give him your ID, and he looks at the ID and goes, April 16th. Yeah, that's when I was born. April 2nd. Really?" And he like sticks his hand down his pants and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe yours is April 2nd."
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I do really think like as much as you like Tim Dillon, you would really like Your Mom's House.
Or like when he was like, "My mom is that type of person that likes to argue with me. She just lives for arguments." And he's like, "I realized how to get her back after all of these years. Like coming to Christmas and they're talking about how they got this new puppy." And he goes, "Oh, that's cool. You know, it's going to die. You're going to have to watch it die." Oh, because he said that he wanted to be a comedian. And she said, "You need to go to the post office."
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
"For what?" "No, you need to go work at the post office."
Oh God! And didn't he like? And the fact that so his mom comes on Your Mom's House all the time, and like she extorts him for money. So she's like, "I'll come on the podcast, but you have to buy me a new purse." Or like the last time they had her on, he had to buy her a new iPad and like a Gucci iPad case for her to come on. And he like gets his money out of it. Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
and his mom is like, I don't know if you, but she's like this tiny little Peruvian woman. So she kind of speaks broken English. And like, he'll make her sit through like videos of people swimming in shit.
"Mom, you have to watch this.
Yeah. It's like, I'm paying for you to watch this right now.
You want that fucking purse, woman? You're going to
Yeah.
watch this." Oh,
It is, yeah, it's some all timer. Like,
no, that's one I have to get back to watching. And I don't know why, because they have so many podcasts and so much things.
yeah.
Uh,
The one he does with Bert Kreischer too.
the
Two
two bears,
Bears.
two bears, one cave. That one's funny.
That one's really funny. It's mostly just Bert talking the whole time. Did you see the video of him snapping his arm?
Mm-hmm.
I watched that live. The
It
Two
was
Bears One Cave live.
it was Bert, right?
Yeah. No, Tom.
Is that when he went to dunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the part after that where Bert like doesn't know what's wrong, but he's like, "I got you, buddy," and like resets his arm.
Don't worry, you're fine.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, like, Tom in shock was the only one that was like, "Hey, is somebody gonna call an ambulance?"
He talked about that on
Like,
Rogan. The one he just did with Rogan, they had talked about that, and he was like, they were like, "Oh, he's fine," and try to drive me. He's like, "They're trying." I think he's like, "They're trying to drive me home." I'm like, "Or maybe we should go to the hospital." I'm not sure, but maybe that's where we should go.
Yeah.
Why are you driving me home?
Well, they went to a hospital and it was a shitty hospital, so then he went home.
Oh, that's what it was. He goes, they drove me to a hospital, and he goes, I don't want to talk about, you know, uh, workers. He's like, but this is one of those hospitals. You're like, I'd rather die.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh.
And that's what he's like, I'd rather die. So drive me. And that's when they drove him home. He goes, I need a hospital, like an actual.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
no, because he talked to his like orthopedic doctor the next day, and he's like, "What are you doing at home? Like, you need surgery, like now."
And then,
that arm break was like the nastiest thing I've ever seen.
all because he was trying to dunk.
And he did. Well, the time before that.
On a low rim, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lowered rim, but that was at like he had dunked before that at like I think 9 foot.
Yeah.
Which for like a 40-year-old overweight dude's impressive. You know.
Then I'm listening to Giannis Pappas on Joe Rogan right now.
He's a funny dude. I had never really been familiar with him until recently. I listened to the podcast that he used to do called History Hyenas.
Him and that Chris guy. Chris does one with Sal Volcano now from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, really?
It's funny. And then there was an episode where Tim Dillon interviewed Sal because they're friends.
I didn't know that.
It was on his Patreon, but he put it out on Spotify. And it's like it's in Sal's kitchen or something. And Tim's like, I just want you guys to know that this is actually my house and this is my kitchen. Sal just likes to visit here and pretend he has this money. And then you got to listen to the one with Joe from there on Theo Vaughn's.
Bitch, I live in $190 million estate in Rolls Royceistan.
I gotta write down. I finally listened to the one where he talked about finding his parents and just burning them down. Oh, he was talking. It was when the riots were going on, and he was like, "Here's what we're gonna do." This, he's like, "Here's what we're gonna do." I'm about helping people. I'm about doing the right thing and helping people. So here's what we need to do. We need to open it up, go out to eat. We find a house and go out to eat, and then we burn it down. After we get a nice meal, then we burn it down. So when they bring us the check, like when they come to you and they go, "Here's the check," and you go, "No, here's the check," and you burn it down. And he goes, "No justice, no peace." Like everything he said, he just goes, "No justice, no peace." And he was like, "If you just find my parents' house and burn it down, that's fine."
Oh, okay. You ready for a good one? So I'm driving the other day to go this date, whatever. So I'm driving and like the aux cord in my Jeep really sucks. So if you hit a bump, it like goes back to the radio. Well, the radio station that I listened to in this other town was like this crazy gospel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like speaking in tongues, kind of religious stuff. And I am listening to my Pandora station that's based off NWA.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to Fuck the Police and hit a bump, and it immediately goes into this preacher screaming and speaking in tongues. And I'm like, what is going on? Like it was one of the funnier, just what the hell.
Now this one will get me in trouble. Actually, no, never mind. I'm not going to say it. I will get in trouble. It was Tim Dillon's podcast, but I'm not going to say it. He tries to pronounce an Indian guy's name, and he just goes, I don't remember, like Evan. Blah, blah. It really says blah, 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 guys, and like it's hilarious. It's just I'm the only one that thinks it's funny. Fuck everybody. I'm the only one that thinks it's funny. This is going to be an NFT. We're going to make a.
Is this going to be an NFT?
It's gonna be a. What would you call an NFT with Twitter? It just says make an NFT through Twitter. Like what?
I thought this was going to be $80 million.
Oh yeah, he puts up there. What is it at now? What's it at now? I think it's like 10, 3,000.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get $80 million. If you guys want this podcast to continue, you're gonna have to up your game up.
Yeah, and then the next part of that rant, probably can't say.
What do you guys eat for Easter? Anybody that does hors d'oeuvres on Easter, you need to go to hell because this is Jesus's day. Go listen to the Easter one. It's pretty.
All right.
He's like, it's March. Everybody hates March because it's still winter. We're kind of getting to the spring. We need the summer, but nobody likes March. And then COVID hit, and we're just in our houses. And then he goes, I am jealous of all the nurses and doctors that just get to leave their house free will. I am sick and tired of how they're able to leave their homes, and I'm not able to. Doing TikTok dances in hospitals, and I can't leave my house. He goes, you got the people with big asses and garbage bags shaking their ass on TikTok.
That last one where he's like, what's your reason for getting the COVID vaccine? He's like, bitch, BMI. You're gonna make me say it?
You know what? I'm gonna be the nicest guy ever. I'll get the vaccine last. When 327 million people get the vaccine, I'll come in last.
I'll be the last one in the United States.
Oh, I'm getting mine on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
First one.
Are you getting the Johnson & Johnson?
Yep. I want to do the one shot.
Just bitches be clotting.
And why am I getting it? BMI.
BMI. Oh my God.
Well, it's been almost 3 months since I had COVID, so I thought it was just time to get over with.
Around that time.
Because they're now letting.
He's right in saying though, like, unless you're really scared of it, like, there are things you're not going to be able to do if you haven't gotten it. Like, just go get it.
It's stupid that they're making all of this. Oh, you have to have the card. Like,
that's the nice thing about living down here. There's like no rules down here.
Well, what was it? Krispy Kreme said get free donuts, which every doctor's like, oh God.
Yeah.
There was something else if you had it. Nathan was talking to me about it. I know traveling is going to have it. I'm like, this is just getting ridiculous. I have the antibodies. Do I really need this vaccine?
I don't know, man. Like, I know I felt better after I got it. Like, just in general, felt more comfortable being out in public. Like,
I felt more comfortable after having COVID after it was gone. I was like, I got the antibodies.
Yeah.
And that's why there's times where if my mask is down, I don't think twice about it. I'm like,
whatever. Stuff's fake.
No, I have the antibodies. I'm just like, what am I going to get it again? And then someone's like, Steve, yeah, actually you can. And I'm like, well, shit. My smell is still not the same.
Really? It like never came back?
I have to be near the stuff. So like the other day at practice, all these coaches were like, man, you smell that? Like someone's grilling something and this and that. And I pull my mask down. I'm like, can you guys describe it to me in complete sentences and give explicit detail of what it smells like? Because I can't. Like I couldn't smell someone grilling. Now, like if I'm in the room and you make a pot of coffee, I'll smell it. If I walk away, I won't be able to smell it. I could be facing you and it just won't happen.
That's wild. Huh.
I have like 90% of my taste back. There's times where I'm chewing. I'm like, well, that has no taste, but it lasts like one chomp, and then it's like, oh, there it is. Like, I
Huh.
think back here is still, it's back here. It's up here. I don't like the initial. I'm like, oh no, it's right here.
Huh.
But and then my smell is still, and then COVID brain.
Yeah. Sure. COVID brain.
It's a thing.
Sure it is. Sure it is. Whatever you got to tell yourself, Steve.
It's a thing. Oh, I don't know if you were a How I Met Your Mother fan. Hillary Duff's coming back.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
How I Met Your Father.
Oh, so it's basically just a worse How I Met Your Mother.
Don't you talk about How I Met Your Mother that way.
I just never got into the show. I didn't think it was that funny.
Besides the end. The end. Me and Logan were like the only fans of that show.
I mean, there were a hell of a lot of fans of that show. I think.
It was one that even Jason Segel, when they got to season 9, he goes, "We don't need to do this." He didn't want to go past like season 7 or 8.
Yeah. Well, all good TV shows go on for like 1 to 2 seasons too long.
That season 9 felt forced. And even Jason Segel said that. He was like, it just felt like we forced another season out of this.
Yeah.
And I agree. There's some funny parts to it, but the way it just was not, it shouldn't have ended this that way.
Yeah.
That's why Breaking Bad has the best ending. I'm like, this is the only way it could end.
Breaking Bad ended perfect.
That and The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to end it, you might as well just go black screen.
Yeah. Just done.
Well, but
all right, man. I have to eat something, and I've got to work tomorrow.
Well, so do I, but I do nothing from 1 to 3. Oh, I didn't say that out loud. I work really hard.
Yeah.
Fridays are laid back.
Must be nice. My
Yeah,
Fridays are hectic.
Let me rephrase that. The afternoon is laid back. Let's put it that way.
It's time card Friday for me tomorrow, so that's a pain.
Oh, we had a first girl fight today in school.
Really?
One's going to be a boxer.
My stuff is like, oh, I want my paycheck to be correct. Like,
I have to pay David Dobrik to kill these people. How do you think that's going to happen?
Exactly. I've got to. You know how much he's selling NFTs for?
We have to get this up.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan has a fucking NFT, for God's sakes.
Exactly. I'm surprised you haven't created NFTs yet, Steve.
I want to make a Benedict Cumberbatch one, but I'm afraid I'll get sued.
Oh, you'll get sued for that. You probably can't use someone else's likeness to make money.
I was going to use the Doctor Strange one.
Well, like, you probably didn't hear about this, but Bert Kreischer used to have this thing where he would say he had the Mickey Mantle gene, where he could just be like fucked up and go run a marathon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he tried to make shirts that said Mickey Mantle gene and got sued from Mickey Mantle's like family estate. They're like, you can't use his name for this. And he was like, oh, I didn't realize.
That's like us making like Michael Jordan stuff with the Jumpman on. Like, well, I didn't know I couldn't use this.
Yeah, it's the Jumpman emblem, but it's me jumping, and I'm like a foot off the ground.
And then your arm snaps.
Exactly.
And then we make that an NFT.
Well, actually, Tom Segura made one of those. He remade the Jumpman logo, but his arms all like this.
Well, I remember, like, after it happened, there was a picture of that. And then I had to go back and see it. So I didn't see it when it happened. It was later because I remember seeing that picture.
Yeah.
Because they made it like a joke, like he didn't break it the way it was. Then you go back and watch and you're like, oh, he just snapped his arm in 8 different places.
Uh-huh. And now he kind of has a strong hand.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have like full use of his hand. Ugh. That's like one of my biggest fears. Is to have a strong hand.
Well, that guy that broke his hand at Carbondale probably does.
Yeah, true.
Or they chopped it off.
Because that definitely didn't heal correctly.
If at all. How do you reattach that?
Probably still just got a limp. Like,
like how, guys, like another knuckle got formed. These knuckles were not attached to anything. Maybe the thumb was attached.
yeah,
But-
I don't think he broke his thumb, but
I think that's the only way he could hold that can was really the thumb was just pushing on to the other knuckles, and that was it.
the swelled part of his hand.
Yeah, like I don't think those can go back. I don't think he's ever the same. I think he now works for Space Force, is what's happened. I don't know.
Probably. I'd work for Space Force.
I have yet to
You
finish that
got-
show. I need to finish that.
Yeah, I never finished it either.
I got after the Montego, Bahama, and then it was just done.
Yeah, my pretty mama. That's bad. We should never sing on this show. It's not a good look for us. It's not in our wheelhouse.
We'll just go out and get food, and then when they say, here's the check, and we'll burn it down.
Just burn it to the ground.
Get a nice souffle, and then just burn it down.
All right, man. I really do got to get out of here because I'm dying.
What's the title? Well, I'm still recording, so
Yeah.
I probably should stop.
Probably should stop.
Blouses.
Blouses.